Let's see Lima song with a loop. So what is Lima song? If my equation is r is equal to a plus or minus b times cosine theta, r is equal to a plus or minus b times sine theta, where a is less than b, we have a big B. Then we have a Lima song with a loop. Okay, so we have learned if I have a cardioid or the heart shape, we have r is equal to a plus or minus a times cosine theta. So we have we're having the shape like this. For example, I'm talking about the positive. So we're going to have my cardioid or the heart lay on the x-axis because this is cosine theta. And some important point is a, and here's a plus b. Sorry, not a plus b, is 2a. Now we have a shape which has the inner loop. That means we need to have an inner loop. So we do not have the same. So a and a, they are not the same. Second one is a b, and the b has the greater value than the a. So this shape make me think about my daughter put a balloon inside of the a bottle. For example, this is a bottle, and this is the balloon she puts inside of the bottle. This is a so put a balloon here, and then if she suck from this side, the balloon will make a big inner loop. Okay, so if I have r is equal to a plus a times cosine theta, that means a and a, they are the same. We are making just a heart shape. So just a heart shape without having an inner loop. But if r is equal to a plus b times cosine theta, we have a big B. That means we suck very hard. We are making an inner loop. So if we have big B, then like this bottle, we have an inner loop. So this is a method you can help you to memorize the formula. Okay, let's see how to graph the equation without a calculator. So we can find some points. First, when the theta is equal to 0, we have 2 minus 4 times cosine 0, which is 1. We have 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. I think we don't have enough space just to say negative 2. And next one is 2 minus 4 times cosine 60. And cosine 60 is 1/2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. And then 2 minus 4 times cosine 90 degree, which is 0. And we have 2. And 180 is 2 minus 4 times cosine 180 is negative 1. So we have 6. So 2 minus 4 times 270. So let me see, what is 270? 0. So we have 2. And the 360 is 2 minus 4 times 1/2. So it's 2 minus 2, which is 0. So we have r comma theta, and we have the r, have the theta. Let's find the points. Okay, first the angle is 0. So this is angle 0, and the r is negative 2. So we are going backward. So the point is here. Second point is 60 degree. This is 60, and the r is 0. So we don't have to. I just have the point at the origin. Next point is 90 degree, and so negative degree, r is 2. So 90 degrees here, r is 2. That is the point here. Next point is 180. 180, and r is 6. So it's a point here. Next one is 270. R is 2. Last one is 300. And r is 0. So 300 degree. 300 degree is here, and R is 0. That means at the origin. So we make a heart shape. And then inner loop. So if I don't have this table and I don't have a calculator, how can I graph it? First, limaçon with a loop is a heart shape with a inner loop. That means first let's see what is a heart shape. This is cosine. That means my heart or my limaçon with a loop will lay on the x-axis. And in front of the cosine is negative. That means the major part will be located on the negative x-axis. So let's draw a heart and with an inner loop. And how to decide these important key points. So here is A, here is also A. And this point is A plus B. And this point, the radius is absolute value of A minus B. So find the difference between the A and B. You just see these two numbers. So 2 and 4 without looking at negative sign. So the difference between them is 2. You can also use 2 minus 4 absolute value. And we know that B is greater. You can also say this point. Okay, this point is equal to B minus A. Okay, let's see next one. There is a table. We can use a table, plot the point, and graph it. So first, let's see what is the second equation is R is equal to 1 plus 4 times sine theta. So we have the sine theta. That means my shape will be located on the y-axis. And also, I want to compare A and B's value. We have a big B. That means we are going to have an inner loop. This is limaçon with an inner loop. Okay, so let's plot the point. Find the point. So 1, the theta is 0 degree. 1 plus 4 times 0 is 0. So we have 1. And 90 degree. So 1 plus 4 times sine 90 degree, which is 1. So 4 times 1, it is 5. Next key point is 180 degree. So what is the sine 180 degree? Sine 180 degree is 0. 4 times 0 is 1. And 270 is negative 1. Sine 270 is negative 1. 1 plus negative 4 is negative 3. And last one is 1 plus 4 times 0. It is 1. Okay, we have a lot of key points. Let's plot R comma theta. So 0 degree, 1 is the point here. Second key point is 95. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is here. And the 181, 270 negative 3, 270 negative 3 is the point here. Last point is 361. 361. Okay, from this information, I can graph my heart shape first. This is a heart. Okay. This is a heart. It's a skinny heart. And then my inner loop. Okay, without having this in this table and the calculator, how can I graph it? First, I need to identify the shape. This is limaçon because 1 is less than 4. So 4 is big. We'll suck my balloon to get a big inner loop. So this is a limaçon with an inner loop. And the sign, that means my shape is on the y-axis. And in front of the sign is positive. So my major graph will be located on the positive y-axis. And the next one, we have an inner loop. So next, we need to find the key number, the key points here And here they are all A's. On the top here is A plus B, which is 5. We can use numbers. We can put 5 here, and we can put 1, 1 here. 1, 1. And in the middle is the difference between 1 and 4, which is 3. Yes, that satisfied everything here. Okay, let's see next example. Graph that passes through the pole with theta equals what and what? What's the meaning of this question? So a point pass through the pole. Pole means the origin or 0, 0. So that means my radius is 0. That means r must be 0. So if r is equal to 0, for example, the previous example, we have 1 plus 4 times sine theta. So this represents r, and it's equal to 0. Let's isolate the sine theta. It is negative 1/4. So theta is not a very common angle. So theta, I can use my calculator to find the inverse function. So sine inverse of negative 1/4. So let's use our calculator. Okay, we're looking for second sine negative 1 divided by 4, close parentheses. So I want to check if I have the mode is in degree. Yes, it's in degree. Okay. So this angle is negative 14.5. Let's say 14.5. So this angle is negative 14.5 degree because I'm using the degree measure. But you remember that finding the inverse of sine is in these two quadrants. If it's negative, it's in fourth quadrant. So this angle is negative 14.5 degree. But I need to find my angle if the angle is between 0 and 360. So what should I do? So this angle, it is, so I can plus 360 to find the coterminal. So find the coterminal at 360. So I'm using theta is equal to negative 14.5 plus 360. That is the coterminal angle. It's equal to 345.5 degree. And how about another angle? Because I know that if the sine of the theta is negative 4, I can have two angles. For example, in these two quadrants. So if in this quadrant, my calculator gave me this angle and plus 360, I can find the coterminal. And how about the angle here? So this angle, also is inside of, make my sine equals negative 4, negative 1/4. So how to find this angle? I can say this is a reference angle. This reference angle is equal to the positive value of 14.5. This is 14.5 degree. So the theta is also equal to 180 degree. So that is the angle from here to here, plus the reference angle, which is 14.5 degree. So it's equal to 194.5 degree. So I found all of the two angles, which make my point go through the, which the graph passes through the pole. So the theta's value is 194.5 degree and 345.5 degree. Okay, so I hope I can get the spots to review something about the inner loop and limaçon. We can do some conclusion here. Okay, let's see. If I have an inner loop limaçon, I must have R is equal to A, let's say plus B times cosine theta, and here B is greater than A. And how to graph it? First, I need to have a polar coordinate system, and we have cosine theta. My heart shape is laying on the x-axis, and in front is positive, so my heart is, the major part is on the positive x direction. And the second, I need to decide, we have an inner loop because we have a B is greater than A. So this point is A, this point is A. And the inner loop here is absolute value between the A minus B. So the difference between A, B. And this point is A plus B. And let's see, R is equal to A minus B times cosine theta. This time, my cosine theta is negative. So cosine, that means my heart shape is still on the x-axis, and we have an inner loop because we have a B. B is greater than A, and the B is negative, or we say cosine is negative, is on the negative x direction. And then let's put the important information here, A and A. So inner loop here is absolute value of A and between A and B. And here is A plus B. And next shape is R is equal to A minus, plus. That's plus B times sine theta. Okay, for the sine theta, which is positive, my heart shape or cardioid is on the y-axis, and the major part is on the positive y-axis. We have an inner loop. And the important information, here is A, here is A, here is B minus A. You can also say find difference between AB and the absolute value. So this is A plus B. And the last shape is, the equation is R is equal to A minus B times sine theta. Okay. So it is sine theta, so my heart shape is the shape lay on the y-axis, and we have an inner loop because we have a big B. Next step, do you know why I have the heart like this? Because we have a negative sign in front of the sign. That means the major part is on the negative y-axis. Okay. I erased my loop. The important points, they are A plus B, and this point is absolute value of A minus B. Okay, or find the difference between A and B. Let's see a graph. So from this graph, I want to find the equation. So R is equal to, so this is the limaçon with the inner loop. So A plus or minus B times, so I need to put the cosine or sine. I must put the sine because the major part of my shape is on the y-axis. And then we need to decide the A and B. And let's decide the positive or negative sign first. Is positive or negative? It's on the positive y direction, so we only have positive. So we have R is equal to A plus B times sine theta. And for the point here, can tell us the A is 2. And how about the B? So this point is a plus b, which is 5. A is 2, B must be 3. And also you can check if this point is the B minus A, or the difference between A, B, and this is positive value. All right, we have the A and B, so R is equal to 2 plus 3 sine theta. Okay, let's see next one. Lemma sum with a loop. Oh, sorry, without a loop. That means, so if we borrow a space here, that means if I have my bottle, I do not suck too much about my balloon. That means I'm making my, so before it's a heart shape. Now I don't suck this side, pull this side very hard. I'm going to make a dimple on Lemma sum. So I'm going to have a shape like this. I'm not pulling too hard to make a heart or make a loop. So this is just a small dent or a small dimple. We call this Lemma sum with Lemma sum without a loop, a dimple Lemma sum. Okay, let's clean that and continue to see the equation. The equation is R is equal to A plus B times cosine theta. R is equal to A plus or minus B times sine theta, where A is greater. A is greater than B. It's like our bottle example. We say if the R is equal to A plus or minus, let's say plus A times cosine theta is just a heart shape. And if we have R is equal to A plus B, big B, times cosine theta, we're having a heart shape and then inner loop. Because B is too big, we're sucking this side. So we are having a loop. If R is equal to A plus B and small b, so A is big. That means I cannot have a heart shape. I just have a dimple. Just suck a little bit, and there is a small dent. Okay, let's see how to graph dimple Lemma sum. Okay, we can plot some point when the so for this equation, R is equal to 6 plus 4 times cosine theta. So this is dimple Lemma sum, or Lemma sum with without a loop, and is on the cosine side. We have a cosine theta is on the x-axis and cosine is positive. I'm going to have a shape like this. So when the theta is equal to 0 degree, 6 plus 4 times cosine 0 degree is plus 4 is equal to 10. And the 90 degree, 6 plus 4 times 0 and is equal to 6, 100 degree. So we have 6 plus 4 times cosine 100 degree is negative 1. So negative 1 is equal to 2, 270. 6 plus 4 times cosine 270 degree is 0. So we have 6. Okay, let's put all of these on my graph. First, 0. R is 10. So this is 0 degree. And 10 is here. First point. Second, 90 degree, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the second point. Next point is 100 degree, 2. Next key point is 270 degree, 6. 6. Okay, we say this is the dimple Lemma sum. I need to have a dimple. So it's a symmetric shape. Okay, so this is dimple limaçon. And the important information here is A's value, which is 6. You see, 6 is equal to A. Here is also equal to A, which is 6. And this point is A plus B, which is 10. And this point is the difference between A and B, which is 2, because 6 and 4 difference is 2. Without having a table, if I want to graph it, first, excuse me, I need to decide the shape. So A is greater than B, 6 is greater than 4. We're having a limaçon without a loop, dimple limaçon. Second, my shape of the heart, the caudioid, for example. This shape will lay on the positive x direction. So we are going to have the shape like this, for example. And we need to have a dimple here. This point is my A, which is 6. This point is also my A, which is 6. That means from the pole or from the origin or pole to here is 6. This point is different between the 6 and 4, which is 2. This point is 6 plus 4, which is 10. So from this information, I can graph my dimple limaçon. Okay, let's see next example. This example, we can fill out the blanks, fill out the table. So this is a sign. Theta is equal to 0. 5 minus 4 times 0 is equal to 5. And 90 degree, 5 minus 4 times 90 degrees 1, so is 1. 180 degrees, 5 minus 4 times 180 is 0, which is 5. And 5 minus 4 times sine 270, it is negative 1. So it is 9. Okay, let's put all of these on my graph. First is 0, 5. 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First point. And second point is r, theta, 1, 90 degree is here. Third, I need to find theta is 180 degree and 5 is the point here. Last point is 270 degree and r is 9 is a point here. We know this is a dimple limaçon or limaçon without a loop. So this is similar like the heart shape, but we have a dimple here. And you can know that this point is A, this point is A. Let's say 5, 5, and 5 plus 4, 9. And 5 minus 4, difference between 5 and 4 is 1. And let's make a sketch because sometimes I don't have the table. First, the shape will lay on the y-axis because I see the sine theta. And sine in front, we have a negative sign, negative 4. That means my shape will be lay on the negative, major shape, lay on the negative y-axis. And then we can find the key points. Here is 5. Here is 5. That means radius is 5 from pole. So this point is the difference between 5 and 4, which is 1. And this point is 5 plus 4, which is 9. Okay, let's use the space here to do the conclusion. We are working on the limaçon without a inner loop. So we have A is greater than B, and R is equal to A plus, let's say, B times cosine theta. So now we have A is greater than B. Okay, how to graph it? So it's the cosine theta. So I'm going to have my shape like this. And then A is greater than B. This is dimple limaçon. So I'm going to have my shape like this. There is a small dimple here. And the key point, this is A, this is A, this is A plus B, this is A minus B, because A is greater. Or you can find the difference between the A and B without a negative sign. And next one, let's say R is equal to A minus B times cosine theta. So if we have a cosine and negative b times cosine, so we are going to have my shape like this. I should graph a symmetric graph. Okay, so I need to have this because I need to have my heart shape or this dimple limaçon lay on the x-axis because the cosine theta, and it is negative. So major part is on the negative x-axis. So the key point here is A, here is A, here is A minus B, or put the absolute value. Here is A plus B. And then let's see, R is equal to A plus B times sine theta. Now we change the sign. So we see sine is positive. That means I need to have my graph like this. And then the key points here and here is A minus B, and this is A plus B. So last type is R is equal to A minus B times sine theta. So we are going to have my graph like this. Because the negative sign, so major part located on the negative y-axis. This is A, this is A, this is A minus B, and this is A plus B. Okay, let's see next example. What equation would make the graph? So this is dimple limaçon. For the dimple limaçon, we have R is equal to A plus or minus B times sine or cosine. So from the graph, I can tell this cosine. And then decide the positive or negative B is positive B, because the major part is on the positive x-axis, A plus B times cosine theta, and A is 4, A is 4, A plus B is equal to 7, so A plus B is equal to 7, so B must be 3. So B is equal to 3. R is equal to 4 plus or minus 3 cosine theta. Yes, A is greater than B. Okay. Also here, this point is equal to the difference between A and B, which is 4 minus 1 is 8. All right, let's see next example. What equation would make the graph? It seems like a circle, but it is not circle. If it is circle, I must have my circle like this, or like this, or I can have my circle like this, or like this, or like this. So the graph shown in this image, it is not a circle. It is a dimple limaçon. For the dimple limaçon, we are having R is equal to A plus or minus cosine or sine theta. So plus or minus B times, so from the graph I can tell this is sine theta, and it's positive B. A plus B times sine theta. Yes, and what is A? A is equal to the point here. A is equal to 9. And what is the B? So B, A plus B. A plus B is equal to the value here. So this point, 12. So we can say a plus b is equal to 12. So b is equal to 3. Okay. Let's see. We found the a, found the b. R is equal to 9 plus 3 times sine theta. And also I can prove a minus b is equal to 6. And this point is 6. Yes, it is. Here is 6. They have the same radius. Okay, we found the equation. Okay, let's see. The lemniscate a figure 8 shape. If I have the equation r squared is equal to a squared times cosine 2 theta, r squared is equal to a squared times sine 2 theta. So they are all the figure 8 graph. So for example, if I have r squared is equal to 25 times cosine 2 theta, so a squared is equal to 25, a is equal to 5. Okay, that means the longest radius is equal to 5. Okay, so it is the figure 8 for the cosine. The figure 8 is starting from 0, so angle 0 degree. So we are going to have a is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the pole or from the center, so to the far the point here is 5, and then we have another side because this is a figure 8. We need to have an 8. So another side is symmetric along the y-axis. So it's a figure 8 shape. And this is a cosine. So cosine is starting from the angle 0. And the opposite of it, of the petal, like a petal shape, or the another half of the 8 is opposite of 0, which is 180 degree. Okay, we can say this is from the center or from the pole to the right, 5 unit, and to the left, 5 unit. We only have 2 petals, like the flowers petals. Next one is r squared is equal to 16 times sine 2 theta. So a squared is equal to 16, a is equal to 4. Okay, this is also a figure 8 shape. Figure 8 shape, I need to have the shape like this. And for the sine, if I have the sine, it's starting from the angle 45. So this is the angle 45. So my 8, figure 8 will starting from 45 degree. And the A, 1, 2, 3, 4. So A is the length of the 8. Oh, sorry, the length of the petal or the half of the 8. So we're going to have my figure 8 like this. And another half of the 8 is also opposite to this petal. 1, 2, 3, 4 is here. So connect them. Yes, I made my figure 8. If I have the equation r squared is equal to a squared times sine 2 theta. Okay, let's see, rose curve. If I have r is equal to a times cosine n theta, r is equal to a times sine n theta. We have n theta. That means we're going to have the shape has more petals. For example, this one, inside we have 2. We have 2 petals. And now, also the difference is here is r squared. But now if r is the first power, and inside of the parentheses we have n theta, and we have n theta here, we are going to have the flower shape, or we say the rose curves. the length from pole to the tip of each petal is A. That means we are going to have a flower. For example, this is my flower. From the pole to the tip. Tip of the petal is A. So from here to here is A. From here to here is A. From here to here is also A. And number of petal. If n is even, so if n is even, the curve has the 2n petals. Here, 2n petals. For example, if I have r is equal to a times cosine 2 theta, that means we're going to have 4 petals because use 2 times 2, which is 4. That means we're going to have the shape like this. And if I have the n is equal to 6, that means I need to double my petals. 6 is even number. We have 12 petals. We're having so many petals until I found 12. Okay, if the n is an odd number, the curve has n petals. So it's normal if the n is odd number. For example, r is equal to a times cosine 3 theta. That means we only have 3 petals like this. 3-petal flower. Okay, let's see where to place each petal. For r is equal to a times cosine n theta, the first petal will always be when theta is equal to 0 degree. So if we have the cosine n theta, that is starting from, the first petal is starting from 0 degree. So this is 0 degree, my first petal is here. Excuse me. The spacing, how far apart of each petal is found by dividing 360 by the number of petals. First, we decide how many petals do we have. Second, we want to find the spacing or find how far apart from each petals to each other. We can use 360 degree divided by petals number, and then start to find the second petals, third petals, and the rest of the petals. Okay, let's see the first one. How many petals are we going to have? It all depends on the n. N is an odd number because 5 is odd. R is equal to 4 times cosine 5 theta. 5 is odd number. That means we are going to have 5 petals. 5 petals flowers. So we have 5 petals. We're using 360 degree divided by 5. So that is the spacing. It is 72 degree. Okay, so this is cosine. Cosine, my first petal is starting from 0 degree. So from 0 degree, A is equal to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my first point. I can decide my petal. This is my first petal. So spacing is 72. That means first one is 0 degree, second one must plus 72, which is 72 degree. And then plus 72 is 144 degree. And next one is 144 plus 72 is 216 degree. Plus 72 is 288 degree. So let's find these angles. So where is 72? So this is 60, maybe it's here. The A is equal to 4. So for example, it's good or not? Just make a sketch. This is my second petal. So this is my second petal. Oh no. First one is here. Second one is here, for example. And the third one is 144. So this is 135. And this is 150. So between them is a point here. This is my third petal. And how about next one is 260, no, it's 216. So where is 216? 225 is here, and then less than 225, and 210 is here, should be here. This is my fourth paddle. I need the last one. So the angle is 288. So where's 288? Is about a point here. So connect it. Yes, we made our pretty rose and with the 5 petals. Let's see next one. So how many petals do we have? We have an even number. Even number means double the double the 4. So 4 times 2, we have 8 petals. If I have 8 petals, how to find the spacing? We have 360 degree over 8 degree, and it's equal to 45 degree. And this one is cosine. Cosine means the first petal is starting from 0 degree. So the first one is 0. And then add 45 because this is spacing. So how far from each other? So plus 45 degree. And then plus 45, 135 degree. And then plus 45 is 180 degree. Plus 45, 225 degree. Plus 25, 270 degree. And 315 degree. Do we have 8 petals? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we have 8 petals. We can start to graph it. And we always starting from angle 0 because this is cosine. So the A is equal to 5. That means from the pole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here, the tip of my flower, the petal is 5. And second angle is 45, is here. So we can graph it. Third point is 90, so we can do 90. And the 135, let me see if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No mistake. And next one is 180, and next one is 225. Next one is 270. Last one is 215. 215 is here. Okay, we made a beautiful shape.